And they shall be all taught of God. Every man, therefore, that hath heard, and hath learned of the Father, come unto me. Not that any man hath seen the Father, save he which is of God. The world had to wait for the autumn of 1603 to witness those fateful events on this side of the globe. A bitter and tragic episode which left its scars for eternity. Shah Abbas I, heir to Muhammad Khudabande, ascended the throne in the year 1586. He was obsessed with conquering Armenia to avenge his father's defeat by the Ottomans and his retreat from their ancestral realm 3 years before. Meanwhile, the unconditional surrender of people was not enough to appease the black and despotic hearts of the ruthless Ottoman rulers, who remained true to their barbaric ways. For this reason, Armenians surpassed each other in their flight to Iran to take refuge in the warm sanctuary offered the Iranian monarch. Seizing the opportunity in a cold and merciless autumn, and taking great care to remain hidden from prying eyes, Shah Abbas made haste towards Tabriz in 1603. Meanwhile, Ali Pasha, the town's ruler, was engaged in battle with insurgent Qazi Khan, the Salmos governor who had disobeyed the Sultan. After subjugating the town, the Safavid king sped to aid Qazi Khan. He defeated Ali Pasha in Sufyan plains. Thus, his way became open. He marched to Nakhjavan and seized it on a single day. He then set his eyes on the Yerevan fortress and commanded his army towards it. But it took 7 months of relentless battle to break the castle's resistance, and once inside he put everyone to blade and moved up to the Qar's frontier post. When the news of Iranian victories reached Istanbul, Sultan Ahmad immediately mobilized an army under the command of General Jalal Oghli and dispatched it to confront Shah Abbas. The Shah of Iran became aware of the huge Ottoman preparation. He appraised the forces and saw fit not to affront the enemy on one line, so he opted for a scorched land policy and ordered all people living within the territory, separating the two countries' borders, to be moved towards Iran, in the hope that harsh winter, lack of refuge and food would overcome the foe. His territory was Armenia, with once magnificent monuments, large gardens, huge farms, high sky, and a generous sun. Thus, the fateful event occurred, and the great exodus ordered by Shah Abbas and directed by General Gune Khan began. The army quickly spread to every town and villages, creating a calamitous scene. The ruthless soldiers removed the defenseless people from their houses, beating and pushing them hastily towards the Ararat plain. Roofs crumbled, trees fell, and belongings were looted. Large farms went up in flames, and lush plains were left barren and desolate, but the worst was yet to come. When Shah Abbas learned that Jalal-Oghli had reached Nakhjavan, he ordered the migrants to immediately cross the Aras River. Large and small boats were built for the purpose, but the sheer number of crowd and the shortness of time made a safe passage an impossible task. So people were pushed into the river at the mercy of the current. Hesitation was fatal, and naked blades awaited the doubtful. Hence, those who could hurried on board the boats, and the rest were forced to brave the waters. After passing the difficult mountains, the king ordered the beaten and desperate people to settle in Tarum, Khalkhal, Ahar, and Meshkan for winter, but already many young and old and either drowned in merciless waters or succumbed to the challenges of harsh mountain path. It was hard to forget all these sufferings, but the survivors had no choice except to hope for a brighter future. As soon as warmer days of spring arrived, wards reached quarters to move the migrants towards Isfahan. 7 years after their expulsion from their lands, and on Shawwal 1014 Hijra, Shah Abbas issued a decree by which a portion of the royal properties in the south of Zayanderud were allotted to Armenian immigrants for settlement. Thus, a new Jolfa was born in Isfahan to keep the memory of a lost homeland alive, and so churches were constructed soon after to make the new people feel more at home. A total of 24 churches were built by the Armenians, but now there are only 13 to be found in different neighborhoods of Jolfa. The most important is a monastery called Amena Perkich, meaning the Savior, or the Vank Cathedral. It may well be a reminder of another Savior in the old Armenia, whose spirit